Brian never let it go. He was always there to make sure that ends meet. He could not take any opportunity without talking about his family, and most especially the grandmother and the 2 cousins. We will miss Brian as his friends. We are praying that the Lord of all creation may give their family solace and comfort at this time. Shosho, kindly receive tributes from Madam President Nyako. Receive tributes from all the way in USA. Big Daddy sent his tributes. Receive tributes from Cielo Queen. Receive tributes from Rosso. Receive tributes from every person whose life was touched by Brian's sayings. Yes, we are his friends. We thank you for allowing Brian to share his life with us, and may God give you peace. To Brian Chira, good night, Chira. Good night, founder of Chira clan. We loved you, but heaven loves you more. Thank you. We'll now hear from Ian.
Just but a cousin. He was a brother and a friend. We shared a lot of sweet memories and enjoyed a lot when he was around. He was all you would ask for a big brother. He was a strong believer in family and its importance. He always reached out and wanted to know how each of us was doing. A big pillar in our family has fallen. We are going to miss you a lot. We are trusting God to heal our hearts with time. Rest well until we meet again. Kuz. Thank you.
My name is Regina Njoki Chira, auntie ya Brian, and I'll start reading my tribute. Brian Chira is my nephew, born of my firstborn sister. He's the only child and a loving son. He was very obedient and kind. Something unique about Brian Chira was his love for God. And every time in our conversation, the parting lines was, "Auntie, remember to pray for me." One day, when his cousin Sophia was sick, I saw the leadership and support system character in him. He took over the following up of Sophia's medication and attended every doctor's briefing. Brian Chira never gave up in life. He was hardworking and even caring. Brian Chira was a jewel to our family. He was very neat and organized. I remember how he used to wash my house anytime he visited. He was also a good cook. His favorite dish was Kenyaji chicken, and that is what he craved the most. In our last conversation, he promised that I should come over the Easter holiday so that he can make my meals. I'll miss you, my son. I believe he's resting with angels. We will meet at Jesus' feet someday. Rest well, Brian. Rest well, my son.
Son, born by my first born daughter. My daughter Sophia Wambui Chira. My daughter left Brian under my care at the age of 8 years. I took him to church and taught him the way of God. Brian was my best friend since childhood. He was supportive, and anytime he was able to provide. Brian has been providing for us. Brian obedient and responsive. He could wash clothes, clean the house, take care of his cousins and the home. His greatest wish was to see us settled in a big modern house and have our own compound. He always wished the best for me. Brian made many sacrifices for me. He was in school but realized that I was struggling to raise his younger cousins. He opted to quit his studies to enable him work, make ends meet for us. Brian always made random visits at home. On his last visit, which was on 9th March, we talked more about our family. He wished I knew how he was in the society, and now I have realized who he is. Brian is a star. Brian has left a big void in our life. I prayed that God may lift strong and vibrant once in one of my grandchildren. Brian always asked me to love him, how he was, and with all his fault, I loved him. I remembered on his admission day at Kabalak University, the auntie told him that the school fees that was paid was a debt, and he will take care of his children's school fees. And a year later, the auntie died. Brian always remembered this, and that's why he was working hard always to take care for his cousins. My grandson, I loved you since you came to our life and to your last breath. I will surely miss you. Say hi to your mom, Sophia, and Alice. May you fight peace. Kuroka Ohoro, Brian. Kuroka Ohoro Brian is loved, but God loved him most. My prayer is that we remain faithful to God, and He will always keep His promise to us. I dedicate this song to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We want to take 1 minute or a second. Please.
Respect to one of the greatest of all times in the country's TikTok history. A man who was full of love, a man who was creative, and a blessing to us despite the short time. A man who was full of love, a man who was creative, and a blessing to all of us despite the short time we spent in our socials. We are here in deep great pain, in deep great and pain, and to say kwaheri to a legend. Chira, we remember you for very brave yet full of compassion, and a champion who wasn't hesitant to speak for the less privileged and wasn't shy to use his space to champion for the harmony amongst ourselves as content creators and his fan base. We are still not conversant as to how we should move on without you, for your impact in our lives still remains alive with us. We will not forget how you lit our days on your passionate live streams, your efficient content and charismatic interviews. We will never forget your phrases that encouraged us and always made us moving. Chira, you told us, come to see pesa, asija katupea stress. And in case they do, you always said, how hawana maisha. We will not forget the many times we cried together, Brian, fought together and won together. Indeed, we've lost a colleague and a pillar to Kenyan TikTok and social spaces in general. Brian, you are gone, but you leave behind a rich legacy of content that will be celebrated by people today and generations to come. Your funny moments will forever live as memories in our hearts. Rest in peace, champion. Rest in peace, Chira. Brian Chira. Thank you.
Baada ya washo